So tonight's mystery movie, AMC Screen Unseen, was what I predicted originally, was 40 Acres. A lot of people thought it was going to be this movie called, I think it was Bye Boy. A lot of people were thinking that it was going to be 28 years later, which, for those that don't know, if it's going to be a horror movie, they will say they will have the banner of Screen Unseen. Sometimes they fuck up and they switch things around and whatnot, but I looked at the run times. I was like, yeah, it's definitely 40 Acres because they are having another early screener for this movie tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but on the same day as 20 years later. So if you want a double feature on that day, definitely check this movie out, because I don't think this comes out until July the 2nd, which is interesting. I was like, man, that's a little ways out. It's not that far away, but still wasn't expecting them to drop something this early. That being said, this movie is starring Danielle Deadwyler. If you've been following me and just you've been watching my reviews on either The Piano Lesson or just recently, earlier this year, The Woman in the Yard, Danielle has just been killing it. And she took this interesting role where she plays this mom that goes by the name of Hailey, and she has her son Manny there, and her and this other family kind of pretty much live on this farm. That's why it's called 40 Acres. It's this whole land. There's this whole thing about famine going on. It's pretty much like a post-apocalyptic situation that's kind of going on with this movie. And it kind of just throws you into this world. It gives you this title card or these little bits of information at the beginning of this movie, but it kind of goes by so quickly. But they kind of pretty much fill you in that, shit got real. You can't really trust nobody out here. People are killing people, going as far as to eating people, where this is the interesting thing about this movie is there are cannibals in there. Now, let me temper your expectations. You don't see a lot of them, and this movie is more so about just focusing on this family and just seeing how they survive, and seeing even the psychological elements to it, just how characters like Danielle and others deal with trusting people and just dealing with the paranoia of their surroundings. I think they did a really good job of that really early on, and just letting you know that this world is very dangerous, even going far as having the kids to bear arms in this movie. And that's very risky, it's very dangerous, but in this type of world you need kind of all hands on deck. And this property has been in in Hailey's life, or her just family lineage, for years and years, and it's just going to be continuously passed down. And there are groups of people going around destroying all these other farms surrounding her, and it's pretty much them just holding down the fort the whole entire movie. And it's really interesting because you have this whole storyline with Manny's character, the son, and how things kind of go left because of his character. I'm not going to spoil what that is, but you could kind of summarize or kind of predict in your own mind what that is. And it's kind of stupid, but when you kind of see his ideology compared to his mother's, it makes sense. Where I lean more towards Hailey's character, we should just not trust nobody, fuck everybody at the same time. But there's a lesson to be learned in that, in trust, in family, and everything that has to do with that. And that's pretty much what the themes are with this movie. It's not necessarily horror, because like I said, if this was horror, that it would definitely have the banner. It's more of a psychological thriller, more so like thriller, action, survival than anything, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, like, you do have cannibals. I do wish that we had more cannibal action, but the way I could kind of describe it, it's kind of like, remember, if anybody has ever seen The Walking Dead and like Terminus, kind of think about like that mixed with whoever that group was in The Last of Us. That was kind of like a knockoff of the people at Terminus, that, like, you know, they're pretty much cannibals and whatnot, and they will do whatever means necessary to, you know, get their food. And there's a lot of things that they played with this movie that is really interesting. It's really well shot too, you know, and it's interesting, you know what I'm saying? I feel like if they were to make this a series or something like that, I think it'd be really interesting, because I really liked all these characters, the whole entire family, and how they coexist, and seeing their day-by-day activities and their training, and, you know, how serious they take situations, and how they go about certain protocols, and if XYZ happens, this is what you got to do. Really dope movie. Danielle does a great job. She does a great job playing a mom in this, and just being very protective. Also showing her vulnerable side, but also kind of knowing when to switch that shit off and when you really need to kind of get serious. I just want to see more of these characters. I really like the atmosphere that this movie had, and maybe if they do have a sequel down the line or something like that, or if this is just a one-off, I'm cool with either or. I will be down if they do make a second movie, though, because I think what they set up and what they, you know, did with this movie was really cool. This was a fun time. Don't sleep on this. If it's playing in a theater near you, definitely go check it out. Like I said, tomorrow, not tomorrow, but on Thursday, they have that early screening for it. So if you want to see that and 28 Days Later, I think this would be a really cool double feature to have, because they're very similar in a lot of ways. But if not, just wait till it hits wide. If you get around to checking it out, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.